Very good morning, students. This is Vijay Lakshmi. I'm going to teach engineering chemistry in the second semester for Group A students. Group A students are ECE, IT, and Mechanical. So these three branches are having chemistry in the second semester, that is engineering chemistry. And before going to start today's session, just I want to give some instructions to you. The main instruction is you have to follow the running notes while explaining. So every day maintain the running notes, and when you come to the offline session, I will be correcting those running notes, and I'm giving the marks to you for the assignment. So those marks are included in the assignment. So you have to maintain the running notes in the regular online session. And now let us see. Let us start the today's session. Today I'm going to just explain what are the topics we have in the engineering chemistry in the second semester, and what is the subject code, and how the internal question paper pattern and the external question paper pattern, and how many credits we have the engineering chemistry. Yes. So here I'm giving my contact number. If you are having any queries, you can contact me now. This is my contact number. Subject code for chemistry is BS206CH. This is the subject code. And you know how the marks are distributing for the internal as well as external examination. For the internal examination, around 30 marks, and whereas for the external examination, 70 marks. 30 marks for continuous internal evaluation, and for external evaluation, you will be having the 70 marks. Total, you will be having the 100 marks. In the internal examination, out of 30 marks, you are writing only 20 marks, that is the descriptive, and remaining 10 marks for the assignment. Yes, assignment may be the assignment exam, or maybe we'll do the assignments, or maybe the running notes. Yes. So out of 10 marks in the assignment, around 2 to 3 marks I'm giving the marks for the running notes, and remaining 7 marks for the assignment exam and the assignments. So remaining 20 marks you know, and again I will explain at the end of the session today how the internal question paper pattern is. And the total credits for engineering chemistry is 4. And you will be having the chemistry lab also along with the chemistry theory. For chemistry lab, you will be having around 1.5 credits. That means total for chemistry, you will be having 5.5 credits. For theory, 4 credits. And for lab, you will be having 1.5 credits. So first, let us see what are the course objectives and what is the use of chemistry, what are the course objectives. Correlate the properties to the internal structure and use for the engineering applications. Apply the principles of electrochemistry in storage of electrical energy in batteries, especially for ECE students. It is very, very applicable. The first unit is electrochemistry. So by using electrochemistry principle, you can apply those principles of electrochemistry in storage of electric energy in the batteries. Yes, we know in batteries we are storing the energy. That energy is the electrical energy. So by using electrochemistry principles, we can um, prepare the batteries by storing the electrical energy, and gains knowledge in causes of corrosion and its prevention. We are having in the first unit corrosion also. So by using corrosion, we will get the knowledge how to prevent, how to control the corrosion, what are the techniques we are having to prevent the corrosion. Attains knowledge about the disadvantages of hard water for domestic and industrial purpose. Also learns the technique of softening of hard water and treatment of water for drinking purpose. That is the second unit, that is the water chemistry. In water chemistry, we can get an idea that how to purify the water, what are the techniques we have for the purification, and what are the hardness causing agents are present, what are the toxic agents are present in the hard water, and what are the techniques to remove the hot water, that is the purification techniques. Those we can see in the water chemistry. So that means we can get the knowledge, we can attain the knowledge by using water chemistry. exposed to qualitative and quantitative parameters of chemical fuels. So we are having the fuel chemistry. By using fuel chemistry also, we can get an idea about what are the elements, what are the qualitative and the quantitative parameters are present in the fuel. And last one, aware eco-friendly materials and the process. This is the last unit. The last unit is the green chemistry. By using green chemistry, we can get an idea that how to save the environment and what are the eco-friendly techniques we have in the green chemistry principles. Yes. So these are the basic course objectives in from each and every unit. The first unit. So now I'm going to just read out the unit names. In the unit, what are the subunits of topics are there? The first unit is the electrochemistry. Totally we'll be having the 5 units. The first unit is electrochemistry and batteries. Second unit is water chemistry and corrosion. Third unit is polymer chemistry. And fourth unit is fuel chemistry or engineering fuels or chemical fuels. And the last unit is green chemistry and composites. These are the 5 units. Again, I'm reading. The first unit is electrochemistry and batteries. Second unit, water chemistry and corrosion. Third unit, polymer chemistry. Fourth unit, chemical fuels or fuel chemistry. And the last unit is engineering materials and the composites. In engineering materials, we are having only green chemistry. That is green chemistry and the composites. So let us see the first unit topics, that is the subtopics in the unit 1. Unit 1 is electrochemistry. In electrochemistry, we are having the types of cells, that is electrochemical cells and electrolytic cells and galvanic cells. Already you have seen the types of cells. What are the cells we have? What is the use of cell? How many types of cells we have? And in galvanic cells, we are having the notation. That means how to write the cell notation by using galvanic cell reaction and cell potentials. How to write the cell potential by using galvanic cell. And the next topic is types of electrodes. That means how many electrodes we have in the batteries, or how many types of electrodes we are having in the electrochemistry, that we can see here. In electrodes, we are having various types of electrodes. Among those, the best type of electrodes are calomel electrode, twin hydrogen electrode, glass electrodes. These are the major types of electrodes which we are using in the laboratory and in electrochemistry. And the next topic is determination of pH by using twin hydrogen electrode. Here we are having twin hydrogen electrode topic. By using twin hydrogen electrode, we can find the pH. That means we can get, this is one of the derivation now. In this derivation, we can find the pH value of the unknown solution by using twin hydrogen electrode. And thermodynamics of EMF of cells, Nernst equation and its derivation, applications of Nernst equation to electrode potential and EMF of cells, and numerical problems. So we are having very few topics in the electrochemistry. Almost all the topics you have seen in the intermediate level, but some just advanced topics are there. There's advanced applications are there in engineering chemistry. Yes, already you have seen the types of cell, that is electrolytic and the galvanic cell. And maybe you have seen how to write the cell notation also, types of electrodes. Maybe you have seen only the hydrogen electrode over there. But here we are seeing the advanced electrodes also. Those are the calomel electrode, twin hydrogen electrode, and the glass electrode. And along with that, we are having the numericals and Nernst equation. We are having the Nernst equation, but here we are having along with the Nernst equation applications also. These are the topics in electrochemistry. And along with electrochemistry, we are having the batteries in unit 1. In unit 1, we are having the two subunits. One is electrochemistry and another one is the batteries. In batteries, we have around primary batteries. Primary batteries are the zinc carbon battery. Only we have one battery in primary battery, that is the zinc carbon battery. In secondary battery, we are having lead acid battery and lithium ion battery. Applications and fuel cells. In fuel cell, we are having only one topic, that is methanol oxygen fuel cell, and how to construct the methanol oxygen fuel cell and the applications. But before that, everyone, you aware about the batteries? You know about the rechargeable batteries and the non-rechargeable batteries. Here, rechargeable batteries are nothing but the secondary batteries. Non-rechargeable batteries are nothing but the primary batteries. Yes, that we will see in the batteries. So that is unit 1. No? In unit 1, we are having electrochemistry and the batteries. Yes, and second unit. In second unit also, we are having two subunits. One is water chemistry and another one is corrosion. In corrosion, we are having corrosion. What are the causes? What are the control techniques? Just let us see what are the topics in water chemistry. Hardness of water, types of units of hardness, estimation of temporary and permanent hardness of water, how to estimate the temporary hardness and permanent hardness in the given water sample. That means in the water sample, how much amount of hardness is present. To know that, we are having one of the important technique, that is the EDTA method. Here EDTA method is part of our chemistry laboratory also. And next, alkalinity of water and its determination. We can find how much alkalinity is present in the given water sample. Water softening methods, that means purification techniques. We are having the purification techniques by ion exchange method and the reverse osmosis methods. And we have some numericals also, that means some problems also we are having related to water chemistry. And specifications of the potable water, that means what are the characteristics, what are the specifications of the drinking water. Sterilization by chlorination and the breakpoint of chlorination. These are the topics in water chemistry. Only 5 to 6 topics are there. One is the EDTA method, alkalinity determination, purification techniques, and the chlorination, breakpoint of chlorination. These are the topics in the water chemistry. And next subunit in unit 2 is corrosion. In corrosion, we are having causes and effects and control techniques. Causes and effects, types of corrosion. What are the types of corrosion we have? Dry corrosion and the wet corrosion. And types of corrosion, that is waterline corrosion, pitting corrosion. And what are the factors affecting on the corrosion, or what are the factors influencing rate of corrosion? These are the topics in the corrosion. In corrosion control techniques, we are having the control techniques. That means how to minimize the corrosion, how to save the metal from the corrosion. Those are the corrosion control techniques. In corrosion control techniques, we are having around 2 to 3 techniques. One is the cathodic protection, current methods, that is surface impressed current cathodic protection, sacrificial anodic protection, galvanizing technique. Here, all these are the best techniques to control the corrosion of the base metal. Yes, these are the topics in the corrosion. So only few topics are there: causes and its effects, types of corrosion, corrosion control techniques. In corrosion control techniques, we have 3 techniques. One is cathodic protection, and another one is the galvanizing, and another one is the metallic protection. Only 3 topics are there in the corrosion control techniques. And the third unit is polymer chemistry. The polymer chemistry is very, very easy. We are having very few topics in the polymer chemistry. But if you are good in organic chemistry, you can understand easily the polymers. No? It is very, very easy topic, polymers. In polymers, almost half of the syllabus in polymers is the introduction only. That means related to the definition part only. We are having the classification of polymers. In classification, we are having thermoplastics, thermosettings, addition and the condensational, copolymerization, and radical polymerization. These are the introductions in the polymer chemistry. And along with this, we are having basic definitions in the polymers, that is functionality, degree of polymerization, and what is monomer, what is polymer. Yes, these are the basic definitions, basic terminology in the polymer chemistry. And along with that, we are having some preparations. That means we can prepare some polymers here. We are having some preparation techniques. Preparation, properties and applications of plastics. In plastics, we are having PVC and bakelite. PVC is polyvinyl chloride, bakelite. These two are using in the construction industry especially, and in the electronic industry. Fibers. In fibers, we are having only two fibers. One is nylon 6,6 and the Kevlar. And elastomers. In elastomers, we are having three types of elastomers. Elastomers are nothing but the rubber, synthetic rubber. In synthetic rubber, we are having Buna S rubber, butyl rubber, and the silicone rubber. Yes, we are having only three preparations. One is fibers, plastics, and the elastomers. Only these three preparation properties and applications are there. But total preparations around seven are there. PVC, Bethelite, nylon 6,6, Kevlar, Buna S, butyl, and the silicone rubber. Total seven syntheses are there in the polymer chemistry. And along with that, we're having one new topic, that is the conducting polymers. Generally, polymers are acting as the best electrical non-conductors. That means which are not able to pass the electricity. But very few polymers are there. Those are exhibiting conductance. Those are called the conducting polymers. Yes, that is a very interesting topic, ma. Conducting polymers are there. In conducting polymers, we are having the classification of conducting polymers and the applications of conducting polymers. And along with it, we are having the last topic in polymer chemistry, that is biodegradable polymers. Nowadays, we know there is a lot of pollution in the environment, and there is a lot of hazardous gases are releasing in the environment because of non-biodegradable polymers using in various purposes. Yes, to minimize, to save the environment, we have to synthesize the biodegradable polymers. Yes, that is the important technique, and that is the interesting topic, that is biodegradable polymers. In biodegradable polymers, we are having only one biodegradable polymer, that is polylactic acid. Yes, so these are the topics in Unit 3. One is basic introduction and seven preparation properties applications, conducting polymers and biodegradable polymers. And next, let us see the Unit 4. Unit 4 also very simple, that is fuel chemistry or the chemical fuels. In chemical fuels, we are having all types of fuels, that is solid, liquid, and the gaseous fuels. Introduction, definition and classification of chemical fuels, primary and secondary fuels, solid, liquid, and the gaseous fuels, a requirement of the good fuel. This is the introduction only, no? In this introduction, we are having based on the physical state, based on the source. Based on the source, we are having natural and artificial, and based on the physical state, we are having solid, liquid, and the gaseous fuels. And we are having what are the characteristics of the good fuel. What are the characteristics? How the good fuel should be. Yes, there are some requirements are there. And next, calorific value. In calorific value, we are having two types of calorific value. One is HCV and another one is LCV. HCV means high calorific value, LCV means low calorific value. And next, some numericals are there based on the Dulong's formula. That is compulsory question in external examination, Dulong's formula. And next, we are having solid fuels. So in solid fuels, we are having only two topics. One is proximate and the ultimate analysis of coal. And in liquid fuels, we are having around three topics. One is the refining, that is the fractioning of petroleum, composition of gasoline, diesel, and the kerosene, cracking and its significance, catalytic cracking by moving the catalytic cracking, octane, and the cetane numbers. These are the topics in the liquid fuels. But only two questions are very, very important for the long question. One is the fractional distillation of petroleum, and another one is the moving the catalytic cracking. And next, gaseous fuels. In gaseous fuels, these all are important only for the short answer question. LPG and CNG composition. Composition is nothing but what are the chemicals present in LPG and CNG. And the last one, combustion. Based on the combustion, we are having some numericals. Just your duty is you have to remember only the formula. In formula, you are going to substitute the values. Yes. So in this, we are having two numericals. One is the Dulong's formula and another one is the combustion. Yes, this is about Unit 4, that is chemical fuels. Now let us see the last unit, green chemistry and the composites. In green chemistry, we are having 12 principles. By using these 12 principles, we can get an idea to save the environment. That is how to save the environment. Like that, we can get an idea by using the 12 principles of the green chemistry. So in green chemistry, we are having principles of green chemistry, atom economy, catalysis, and examples of clean technology. And next, biodiesel. Biodiesel synthesis is that is transesterification process and carbon neutrality, properties and its significance. And next, composites. In composites, we are having the classification of composites, applications of composites, and what is the composition of the composites. Yes. So these are the topics in the unit 5. So these are the reference books, ma'am. These are all available in the library. But before that, just remember every unit is very, very important because every unit, from every unit, you will be getting around 14 marks in the external examination. So 14 5 is 70. So from every unit, you will be getting 14 marks. But before that, how the external examination question paper pattern is. In the external examination, you will be having 10 questions, short answer questions, 7 long answer questions. Total 10 short answer questions are there, 7 long answer questions are there. And for 10 short answer questions, you will be getting 20 marks. Whereas for 7 long answer questions, you will be getting 10 marks for each. That means there is a choice in the long answer question. Out of 7, you are going to attempt only 5. Any 5. Yes, each LAQ carries 10 marks. That means 5 tens are 10, and already for short answer question 20, 50 plus 20, 70. So already we know how many marks for the external examination. There are 70 marks for the external examination. Yes. So out of 7 questions, 5 questions will be getting from each unit. From every unit, you will be getting one topic. And the last 2 questions are coming from any unit. There is an extra question expected from any unit here. Yes, because generally they will ask the extra question from first and second unit. But before last year, what happened here? From fourth unit, they have asked the 2 extra questions from fourth unit only. Fourth unit is very the smallest unit, but even though they asked the extra question from fourth unit only, around 24 to 25 marks covered from the unit 4. So every unit is very, very important here, and every unit plays an important role in the external examination. Yes, this is external examination question paper pattern. Now let us see the reference textbooks. We'll be having 3 reference textbooks. Out of 3 reference textbooks, 2 are very, very important in the external examination. One is Jain and Jain, Engineering Chemistry by P.C. Jain and M. Jain Dhanpat Rai and Sons. 15th edition we are having. If you want more information, you can go through this book. And second one is Sashi Chawla, Dhanpat Rai and Sons. Sashi Chawla also very, very nice book. And the third one is Engineering Chemistry by Shikha Agarwal, Cambridge and New Delhi. So here all are the available in the library, so you can get any textbook. But my suggestion is you can go to Shikha Agarwal. It is very, very nice book. You will get all information in the Shikha Agarwal. If you want more information, more than the syllabus, if you want more information, you can go through the Jain and Jain. Yes, these are the suggested readings and reference books. And this is internal examination question paper pattern. Everyone, you know how the internal question paper pattern and external examination question paper pattern is, because already you have seen in the last semester the previous question papers. But today I'm not going to show how the external examination question paper pattern, but already just I explained in words how the external examination question paper is. Now just I am showing how the internal examination question paper. Already you know how the question paper is. There are 2 weeks, that is part A and part B. In part A you will be having only short answer question. In part B, you will be having only long answer questions. In part A, you will be having 3 short answer questions. Each short answer question carry 2 marks. So 3 to just 6. And you will be having 3 long answer questions. Each long answer question carries 7 marks, but you are going to attempt only 2. There is a choice in part B. You are going to attempt any 2 questions in part B. So 2 sevens are 14, 14 plus 6, 20 marks. And remaining 10 marks for the internal examination. Already you know 30 marks for the internal examination, 20 marks for the internal examination, remaining 10 marks for the assignment. But I said now how the 10 marks are distributing. 3 to 2 to 3 marks for the running notes, 6 to 7 marks for your assignment exam and assignment, and also for your daily attendance. Yes, for every day you will be having 1 mark. So for 10 classes, you will be getting around 10 marks. So like that, every day we are taking 1 mark here, and finally we will be doing the average here. After doing average, we will get the assignment marks. Yes. So this is about the internal examination question paper pattern. Yes. So this is about today's session. In the next class, I'm going to start the introduction of Unit 1. What is Unit 1? Unit 1 is electrochemistry and batteries. But just I will give the important topics in the electrochemistry tomorrow. And from the next class, that means next class, I will start the main topics from the electrochemistry. Thank you so much.